Hello and welcome back to F1 Blogs, your go-to YouTube channel for all things Formula 1. The final stretch of the 2024 F1 season is upon us, and what better way to kick off this crucial weekend than with the Qatar Grand Prix. As we head into the weekend, the battle for the Constructors' Championship is reaching a boiling point, with Ferrari and Mclaren fighting tooth and nail for the coveted title. In today's video, we'll dive into the action from the first and only practice session of the weekend, where Ferrari stunned everyone by topping the timesheets. After Max Verstappen's dominant performance in the Drivers' Championship, all eyes are now on the team battle. Ferrari is currently trailing Mclaren by just 24 points in the Constructors' standings, and with only 2 races left, this weekend is critical for both teams. The Qatar Grand Prix promises high-speed action, intense competition, and plenty of drama, and we're here to break it all down for you. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to F1 Blogs for more in-depth race analysis, team breakdowns, and updates from the world of Formula 1. Now, let's get into the heart of the action. As we come into this weekend, the intensity around the Constructors' Championship has never been higher. Ferrari and Mclaren are in a dogfight for the title, and with just 2 races left in the season, this is do or die for both teams. Mclaren currently holds a slender 24-point lead over Ferrari, a margin that's far from safe, considering how competitive both teams have been this season. The Qatar Grand Prix offers a unique challenge for teams, with the high-speed corners of the Losail circuit and the hot, sandy conditions making it a difficult race for setup and tire management. What adds more pressure is that this weekend features the sprint race format, meaning teams only have 1 practice session to prepare for both the sprint qualifying and the main event on Sunday. The sprint race, which offers valuable points, will be a critical part of the strategy for both Ferrari and Mclaren. With only 1 practice session, the teams have very limited time to fine-tune their setups, test different tire compounds, and analyze the performance of their cars. This is where the pressure is truly felt, and the battle between Ferrari and Mclaren is bound to be fierce. Let's take a look at the first and only practice session from Qatar. In a stunning turn of events, Charles Leclerc put Ferrari at the top of the timesheets, ahead of McLaren's Lando Norris, with a time that was 0.425 seconds faster than Norris' best lap. Oscar Piastri finished in third, 0.472 seconds behind Leclerc, while Carlos Sainz secured 4th place, 0.582 seconds off the pace. While McLaren was expected to be strong in Qatar due to the track's characteristics, Ferrari's performance came as a surprise. Leclerc's lap time showed that the SF24 is well suited to the high-speed nature of the Losail circuit. Despite a minor mistake in the 4th and 5th corners of his fast lap, Leclerc's performance was strong enough to beat the McLaren duo. Carlos Sainz's performance was also impressive. He spent a large portion of the session on the hard tires, even leading the timesheets for a period of time. Once he switched to soft tires, he dropped to 4th, but the performance on the hard tires indicates that Ferrari's car is adaptable across various compounds and conditions. This gives the team a strong advantage heading into the sprint qualifying later today. While Ferrari's dominant performance in practice was impressive, McLaren is far from giving up the fight. Norris and Piastri are both incredibly talented and have shown throughout the season that they can extract every ounce of performance from their car. Although McLaren was slightly off the pace in practice, they are a team that often makes significant improvements between practice and qualifying, so they will be gunning for a strong showing in the sprint qualifying session. It's also worth noting McLaren's strong history at the Qatar Grand Prix. In 2023, Oscar Piastri won the sprint race at Losail, and both McLaren drivers, Norris and Piastri, finished on the podium in the main event. With that recent success at the track, McLaren will be pushing hard to regain the top spot, especially given the high stakes in the Constructors' Championship. But even with all this in mind, the gap to Ferrari in practice shows that McLaren has some work to do. With the unpredictable nature of F1 weekends, anything can happen, and McLaren has the tools and talent to recover. However, Ferrari's performance here cannot be overlooked, and the race for the Constructors' Championship is only going to get more intense. Now let's take a look at the other teams, starting with the defending champions, Red Bull. Max Verstappen, who secured the Drivers' Championship weeks ago, was not on top form in practice. He finished 11th, 1.2 seconds behind Leclerc, which is a rare sight for the Dutchman. Verstappen and his team have been struggling with setup issues lately, and while he has a knack for turning things around in qualifying, the performance gap to Ferrari and McLaren is something to watch closely. As for Red Bull's teammate, Sergio Perez, he was even further down the grid, in 18th place, struggling to extract any performance from the car. It's been a challenging season for Perez, and with the Constructors' Championship battle tight between Ferrari and McLaren, Red Bull will need both of their drivers to perform well to stay in the fight. Mercedes also had a difficult practice session. George Russell finished in 8th place, while Lewis Hamilton came in 10th. Mercedes had been showing great promise in recent races, particularly in Las Vegas, but the cooler track temperatures in Qatar seemed to expose some weaknesses in their setup. While Mercedes is still a formidable force, they will need to find their rhythm if they are to challenge for the podium. Looking at the bigger picture, the Qatar Grand Prix is shaping up to be a pivotal weekend for both Ferrari and McLaren. The battle for the Constructors' Championship is as close as it's ever been, and every point matters. The sprint race, which offers points to the top 8 finishers, could be crucial in deciding who takes home the trophy this year. For Ferrari, the strong performance in practice is a much-needed confidence boost. The team has been looking for consistency all season, and if they can carry this momentum into the sprint race and the main event on Sunday, they could make a significant dent in McLaren's points lead. However, McLaren will not back down easily. Their strong car and talented drivers will ensure that the battle remains fierce throughout the weekend. With the Constructors' Championship on the line, McLaren will bring everything they have to this race. And don't forget about the other teams. Red Bull's dominance this season means that they cannot be counted out, even if their performance in Qatar has been a bit off. Mercedes, with their technical expertise and fast recovery skills, could still be a threat in the coming sessions. With everything on the line, it's going to be a thrilling weekend of racing in Qatar, and we can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And that's a wrap for today's video. Ferrari has taken a surprise lead in practice, but McLaren is still very much in the fight for the Constructors' Championship. The next few days will be crucial for both teams as they fight for the title in what promises to be an action-packed weekend. What do you think? Can Ferrari hold on to their advantage, or will McLaren bounce back in qualifying in the sprint race? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to F1 Blogs for all the latest updates, race analysis, and behind-the-scenes action from Formula 1. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of the excitement. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.